What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Miss Teen Crypto Show. I hope everybody is having a lovely Wednesday. It's great to see everybody in the chat. Hi, everyone in the chat. Hi, lifers. If you guys are new to the channel or you're just a regular, what's up? My name is Randy, also known as Miss Teen Crypto. It's really nice to see you. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share this stream out with friends so more people could join in on the zest and the fun charts today. I just want to shout out really quickly our sponsor, Wax Blockchain. If you guys are interested, take a look at that link in the description and in the bio. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in again. It's very great to see all of you guys. Again, make sure you smash those likes. I'm going to waste no time. I'm going to talk to our very special zesty friend, Sam Price, a.k.a. Crypto Lifer. How are you, my friend? Welcome to the show.
Getting some lemon zest here. Getting real zesty.
Oh, my God. I love it. I love it.
But thank you so much for letting me in here into your beautiful home. I took my shoes off, so I hope that's cool. And I'm just super excited to jump into your channel and have a great discussion and enjoy the day. Thank you.
Yeah, you're amazing. And I've been thinking about you a lot lately, and our last conversation really stuck with me. Guys, if you didn't watch the original episode with myself and Lifer, what was it, a month or two ago? Time flies. Please go take a look at it.
I was in my parents' house, I remember. Yeah, I was in my parents' house.
Take a look at that, guys, because Sam's life is pretty epic, and the way he got to where he is now is absolutely amazing. You've been working absolutely relentlessly. For people who may not have seen the previous episode, do you mind giving an intro to yourself and how you got into crypto?
Yeah, sure. My name's Sam Price. I grew up in Boston, Mass. To an iron worker and a school teacher, humble beginnings. And I always thought that, I always tell people I went away in the summer and I met this kid at a camp and he had like millions, right? And I went and stayed in his house and he had a maids and, his dad drove a Mercedes convertible. And I was like, and I got home and was like, and that stuck with me, kind of like my interview stuck with you, but that stuck with me, and I was like, wow, people live pretty, outrageous lives compared to the middle-class life that I was living in. And I kept saying, why not me? And it was never about the money. There was this thing in my head that kept saying, even when I was 9, 10, 11, 12 years old, like, man, you could be you could live in the biggest house. Like you could have the biggest parties. Like you could have, and it's really about servicing others. It was like,
yes,
you could feed your family the best meals. Like you could take all your friends to the nicest places. And you could just enjoy life. So I had this yearning to change my life at a young age. My mom said she named me after Samuel Clemens, and I read his life story and I got in, Mark Twain, and I still read his quotes every day on my live stream. And one thing I say all the time is I never let my schooling interfere with my education. School can get you so far, but your passions, like I know you might go to school and please do whatever you got to do. I'm not telling you not to go to college, but
I'm in the school right of life, Sam.
Yeah, see, that's why I connect with you so much, Randy. And that's why I want my lifers to understand that you're a lifer. Like she's a lifer, everybody. Like she is full blown. She's in, like she's committed 110%. 130%, 5,000%. She's in all the way.
Yeah.
She's lost friends, family members that probably thought funny of her. Like she's gone through a lot of the things that I've gone through pushing for her dreams. You know what happens though? All those people get replaced by amazing people that find you through this channel, that become your friend like me and all the other people you're going to network with. And 5 years from now, oh my God, like your unit, right? Your network of people, your network is your net worth. Oh my gosh. Like I can't wait to invest in that stock because you're going to the moon,
You're amazing, Lifer. And I respect your grind 100%. I mean, we're both like you said, we relate to each other a lot. Do you want to actually talk about coming into crypto and how maybe your friends and family perceived you coming into crypto and how maybe that is changing now, or did it change at all?
It's a good point. I mean, I have such a dynamic. It's a crazy question. I'm a twin. A lot of people don't know I'm a twin.
Oh, okay? There's another Sam out there.
Yeah, well, I have a twin sister.
Samantha.
We're 4 minutes apart. Yeah, we're 4 minutes apart. Jessica, she's my twin sister, and I have an older sister. And that dynamic began as I kind of, my older sister's 5 years older than me, 6 years older than me. But I was always the finance guy. Like you could buy 2 of those and flip that. Like whenever I saw something at the store, right?
Yeah.
Like get a PS5, I'd be like, and then my buddy would I can get you a couple of those. And I was like, why don't I buy 3, hold 1? And then when they go out and they go up more in value, I'll buy that one and it'll pay for the one I want. Like I always thought you don't have to buy anything. Like you buy 3 of them and then make a little profit on 3 and that should pay for the one you want. And then you get the 4th one. So my whole mind always was make somebody pay for it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like that's a kind of a business sense. Like, you know, like and I always looked at ways to maximize my money because I felt I worked so hard for it. I worked a night shift for 6 years. I talk about it a lot. When you go into work at 7 and you come out with a 3 for 6 years straight, and it leaves an imprint on you for the rest of your life. You know, you see, yeah, I was never out on a Friday night for 6 years, you know?
Yeah.
I just grinded. And I was alone too. I worked alone around one other person, but a lot of the nights I spent alone. So during the day I was alone. During the night I was alone. So I spent like 6 years probably like with my computer. And that's kind of how I got into Bitcoin. And so I tried to get my family into it. And I also researched UFOs, near-death experiences, you know, 9/11 conspiracies, you name it. And so they were like, is this another one of his deep rabbit holes? You know, and I was like, no, this one's like, I actually thought all the rabbit holes were true. Like, I was like, no, like there are deep underground bases. Like you don't know about the pineal gland. Like you're not learning about, you know, Coral Castle in Florida and how this guy created all these things and he lifted, you know, he was lifting giant stones. So like, I would just be like, hey, I was open-minded that anything is possible. I never shut my mind off. And because of that, I was open to Bitcoin when I learned about it. My brain is just so much more open, I think, than a lot of people. So when I start to explain things to them, they're just like, I'm like cracking their brain too much and just like, they can't go there. My older sister, I get her 2 years later, she buys a Bitcoin at 8,800. So that was nice. Like, cool. Yeah. My twin sister, because I was like, get into it. And then it's like $3,000, $2,000, you know, and then it went to 20K and I was like, and of course I was probably a little pompous. I was young, you know, I was in my early 30s, mid 30s. And I was like, I may have been like, why didn't you get in? Like, why aren't you taking care of your finances? You know?
Yeah.
And I was a little aggressive. And I think I was a little too aggressive at that time. And I hurt her feelings. Like I really did. And I didn't know I did until years later, I brought up Bitcoin again. And she's like, well, you just think I'm dumb because I never bought it. And I was like, no, that's
Jessica.
not what I think. Like, yeah, I was like, that's not what I think. Like, I love you so much. Like, I just wanted to help you. And I was showing you that they were going to keep printing the dollar and this is going to be a better asset because it doesn't get printed because they cut it in half. And that's 8-year-old math. And I'm trying to tell everyone it's supply and demand. My dad and my mom always thought I was pretty smart and interesting, you know, parents. And so like, even though they were weary of me, they always had a feeling that Sam was on to something. They never really, I got my mom to buy a Bitcoin, which she got hacked by this summer, which was devastating to my family. Comcast fake guy got into her computer. A horrible story, you know.
That's so messed up, man.
Older. Yeah, she's 6. My parents 72 years old, 76 years old. My dad's old. My mom's old. So like, you know, whatever, horrible. But she bought a Bitcoin at a half a Bitcoin at about 11,000. So
that's not bad.
No, so like man, one of my good friends got into Ethereum at $400. You know, he wrote it up. I just there was times where people during the bear market were weary of me. It went down to 3K and I said, you got to keep buying this thing. And they were like, they figured I was like, so, you know, I couldn't take the pain of the loss. Like that the 20K went down, that I was just, you know, one of those people that was just going to ride it to like, you know, like, oh no, it's, you know, the guy
like ride it to zero
and hate them, you know, you just keep staying in that relation. You know, it's one of those things. So I was just like, no, I knew the math. Like I knew once I spent a lot of time figuring things out. And then I decide, do you want this? And I said, I don't know. I haven't done my math yet. I haven't done my work yet. When I finally decided I want something, I have gone through everything in my brain. So once I'm there, like I don't go back ever again. So like once I decided around April and that, or even, you know, when we came down in that April, May area, and I was like, I'm in for the long haul for this thing. It's going to get halved every 4 years and they're going to keep printing the dollar. And I've researched all the fiat currencies throughout history. I went on my channel today. They die. There's a graveyard. There's a fiat currency graveyard. You know, most of them last 35 years. People think they last long. They don't even last that long. Like these things can come and go left and right. And your currency is basically got about 300 to 400 years at best. That's how long, you know, fiat currencies last. So gold's been around 5,000 years. It's still here. I started buying gold and silver. I found Bitcoin. Yeah. So when I figured out what was going on, I did it through history. I studied fiat currencies through history. I studied gold and silver. Bitcoin looked just like gold and silver, scarce, you know, and then I realized it was my hedge against the dollar. They were going to keep printing. Exactly. I told everyone that. It was simple. They didn't believe me, thought I was insane. I went my own way. It was the greatest thing that ever happened to me because when close people think you're nuts, you're forced to kind of go your own way. And like, you're forced to find out who you really are. Like, it's like, you're going to go fight the army and you're going and you're like, you got everyone behind you. And then one person leaves and then you're all by yourself with your sword and you're still walking into battle, and it means you mean it. You want it.
Yes.
And so it, you know what? It may have hurt. It may have been up and down, but it made me so strong, and it made me realize what I was in here for. So now when I go through these bear markets and these ups and downs, and I see all these weak hands and these, I should have been gone a long time ago. I shouldn't even be here. I should still be at a 9 to 5, working my job, not living my dreams, not believing that I could have started my YouTube channel, not believing that I could have changed the world, So
Yeah.
tough times.
I relate to you so much on so many levels that, even, you got to give the conspiracy theorists credit, because a lot of conspiracies are no longer conspiracies. I mean, the alien thing too. I was literally
created by the CIA.
Yeah.
When people found out that the UFOs were crashing and they didn't want them to know about it.
Yeah, literally. They literally are talking about UFOs on the moon.
So the second someone says conspiracy theory, I'm wary of that person, because if you Google the etymology of that word, if you Google the beginnings of that word, if you get it, you're going to come to the conclusion that it was created to block truth. You know what I mean? So anyone who uses it, to me, is a little doesn't want the truth as bad as I do. That's how I look at it. And I could be wrong.
No, so wild, because I was literally just sitting here at my desk. My TV's a little few feet away from me. It was literally talking about how they were going to talk about UFOs. UFOs were real, yada yada, and all of a sudden, UFOs are legit. Guys, we don't know what's going on. We have no idea what's going on. We have to do our own research, like Sam did, and stick in your own convictions. Because even when I first got into Bitcoin, I remember it was and my Twitter specifically, not exactly Bitcoin, because, I started my Twitter a little bit later. April 2020, I was filming videos in my aunt's backyard, and my family was calling me crazy. My cousin said that, Bitcoin's some unicorn magic money, and, that I'm, anti-establishment, I'm anti-this, I'm anti-that, and calling me all these names. Meanwhile, look what's happened since then. And what, not saying that I've accomplished a lot, but I've done a lot in the space and have tried my best to spread adoption. So it's crazy.
You have had Garrick Soloway, you've had BitBoy, you've had your channel's the place to be. I want to make a really big statement here, okay? About YouTube in general, about creators. And I was a rapper for years, and so you rap, and some dude has millions of followers, right? But you might bump into him, and if he hears you rap, and he looks you deep in the face, and if it works, he'll cut you out of a feature.
Yeah.
He doesn't care that you only have 4,000 followers. He cares about who you are in your heart. Everyone that goes after their heart and their feeling, we connect to those people. So I was in Las Vegas 2 weeks ago. My Wi-Fi in my hotel did not work. I got 8 minutes of my live stream. I was devastated. I do not want to miss a live. Like you see me, I'm at 600 straight days. I'm I want to do some Guinness Book of World Record. I want to go 3,000 days. I don't know. I want to go. Yeah. I don't want anything to get in the way of my dream. And my dream is my channel. And that's it. And someone DM'd Sin City Crypto and said, I really like the lifer. I'm a follower of both of you guys. And he's all, without Wi-Fi in Las Vegas. Next thing you know, I get a DM in my Twitter. And one of my team actually says, you got a DM, check it right now. And it's a guy, and he's like, where are you? And I'm like, I'm at the Luxor. He's like, dude, we're a walking distance. He's like, I have a full-blown $100,000 studio. Wow. He didn't even say that, but he's like, I have a full-blown studio. Come on in, do your show with us. And then we have a show at 10:30. We'd love to have you on, right? And I mean, thank God I built my channel up so people wanted to see you. There is some hustle there, right? You got to have something to bring to the table, right? But bang, bang, relationship was made. I got to meet Robin at Sin City Crypto. We became great friends. He brought me to his house that night.
Aww.
I'm out in Vegas. His wife made me tea. She was the sweetest woman in the world. I had another beautiful experience where I connected to other human beings all the way across the United States. And it was unexpected. It was just a beautiful thing. And my channel saw it happen. My group saw it happen. And I mean, next thing you know, I was in this beautiful studio. And then the next morning I was like, dude, but I do my show at 10 a.m. And he's like, I'll be there. And dude shows up at 6:30 in the morning. Pacific time, open that studio up for me and let me do my live stream. And I was like,
I would have cried. I'm going to cry now.
I did cry. No, I did cry. I've done cried. And it's they only have 3,000 subscribers, right? But Ben's on their show today. I'm pretty sure Ben went and used their studio today. Ben's in Vegas using their studio again. So that's when you go to Vegas, you know what I'm saying? This is a family. Everyone that's dedicated We're all going together. Like you may get to 30, I'll get to 100, and then eventually, who knows? You may bump me. We don't know where you're gonna go. We have no clue where your future holds. Like I'm open-minded to believe that anything is possible, right?
Yeah.
So if anything is possible, you might have 1 million subscribers in 2 years, or less. You might end up bigger than me, and you might call me and be like, you were so cool when I was down there. Why don't you come up to my level? And you might be the person that brings me to 200 million. You might put me on Fox News. Who knows what you'll do one day? Who knows where you'll go? So I keep every door open. A cool story. Crypto Love. He's got 100,000 subscribers. Ben has like 30. He reaches out. And Crypto Love puts Ben on his channel. Ben surpasses his channel, right?
Yeah.
Boom. Crypto Love has like 250,000. Ben went boom, right? And I reached out to Crypto Love one day, and we ended up doing stuff together. And he said to me, you know who first reached out to me? Man, he's like, and then look what happened. He goes, hey, maybe the same thing happens to you, And it was like, we all help each other,
Yeah.
We all help each. So now, like, as I grow and I begin to move, I'm going to look for the same passionate people that are doing what I was doing. And I owe it to them to give them some love and to bring them with me. Otherwise, I'm a fake person who's not real,
Yeah.
who isn't part of the struggle, who isn't part of a family,
Frick
who
that.
doesn't think crypto is a strong community. So like, I just think you're doing unbelievable. You're putting in the work every day. Everybody sees it. Everybody knows. And yeah, I'm a charter, right? It's cool. But like, not everyone wants to see people do charts. People need to see interesting people, bring them places, explain different concepts. And the type of person brings in a different type of people. A young girl with a nice spirit and a good heart, you might bring more women into the space, and that's what we need, You might bring more guys into the space because they watch your channel. Whatever it is, you're going to bring in another dynamic to crypto, and that's your special sauce. Like, and no one's going to have your unique personality and bring your the type of energy that you bring into crypto, So you're doing unbelievably well. Like, I just want you to know that. Like, I wouldn't be here. Like, I love everybody, but like, I like to collaborate with people that I really, really like, because that means it means something. If you go on every other channel, it's like, I really want to be selective of, kind of like, I like to see what you're doing and where you're going, and you're doing it.
Thank you. Thank you. I know we're both like, such nerds. We're at our computer all day. I don't know. I'm at my computer like 12 plus hours a day, just, constantly in the crypto space. And, I think we also have to balance, lifer with, with crypto, right? How do you balance your life and make sure that crypto, of course, is a big part of it because you stream every day, but not something that's just overwhelming you to the point where you burn out or you're kind of like neglecting your fam. And even though you're not at all, because guys, I don't know if you've seen Sam's shorts with his wife in it, but she's so cute. I really love her.
I mean, I have a good life set up well. Right?
Yeah.
I wake up at 5 a.m., 5:30, right? I jump into the charts. I'm in the charts till 7:30. My house doesn't move, right? I do a Bitcoin update. I look at the S&P futures. I look at the dollar index. You're in my trading group for $3 a day. You wake up, you already have an entire picture of the market given to you by an analyst who's been doing it for 15 years.
Wow.
And with nice radio voice, and given to you properly, right? To make you feel good in the morning. And I'm also grateful. Like, my first words out of my mouth are thank you when I go to sleep. But the last words out of my mouth, thank you. I was always grateful, but I've started the last probably around June.
Yeah.
Just like living in gratitude. I'm talking 24/7 of the, like I go to yell or I get upset and I say, but I have a good life and thank you for what I have. And sometimes you wake up, you're not in the best mood. Sometimes you don't want to be grateful for everything. So, those days I get practical. I wake up, I have to go to the bathroom. I say, hey, there's men and women that served in the armed forces that are sitting in a wheelchair right now. They're peeing in bags. They have to get up. They wake up in the morning. Everyone has to pee when they wake up.
Yeah.
Wake up. First thing they do is they may have been dreaming of running, right? So they wake up, open their eyes. They're not running. They can't even walk, right? So number one, they might wake up kind of like, damn, like I was just dreaming of walking. I can't walk, especially if they used to walk.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm sorry, I don't mean, but then I'm killed. You're an empath like me.
I am like emotional.
Oh, geez. So, but this is I connect to these moments because they keep me raw. And by staying raw, I'm able to not get above my head and think I'm the greatest thing since sliced bread. You know what I mean? Like it breaks me down back to reality, you know?
Yeah, it
And
humbles you a little bit.
so they have to get up out of the chair, go to the bathroom. So by the time they've gone to the bathroom, like I wake up and I walk to the bathroom. So I said, man, I'm winning. Like that's a win. Like that's a sweet win. Like I don't have to do that. Like, you know, God forbid, thank God. I hope nothing ever happens to me. So then I get out of the bathroom and I'm like, thank you, dear Lord. And then I'm like, then I usually hear my kid or something. And I'm like, oh man, God bless my kids. Kids are amazing.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I know not everyone may be as lucky to have children, but if you're ever that lucky, they brighten you up, especially my children. So it's hard for me to be upset when I worked so hard for what I have. And now I'm living the fruition of what God has given me. I can't believe it some days. But I just tell myself, you know, you do this universe gives you exactly what you deserve. I'm telling you right now, and like nobody can take away your hustle. You show up every single day. They can hate on you. They can say this about yourself. They can talk about your personality. They can do whatever they want. But you show up every single day and nobody can say a word about your work ethic. Nobody can say a word about your consistency. And you know, that inspires other people. I'm inspired by consistency. They asked Americans their favorite thing in the world. I think I said this on your channel before, but they said, what's your favorite thing? And the Americans responded, consistency.
Yeah.
The number one thing Americans want in this is consistency. You know?
Yes. Even Kelly Boy in the chat, reliability is leading by example. It's so facts. It's so facts.
You can say all you want. Show up every day. You're going to inspire the world.
Yeah, you know, just, you know, even you every morning I'm like, you know, looking through YouTube and I'm seeing what's going on, and I always see that you're live and you're always so like up and at 'em, and even on Twitter you just like hear yourself, like, you know, I hear your voice like when I read your tweets, and especially if they're in caps, Lifer's like passionate, you know, he's like, let's go guys, like let's get after it, and you know, that's what we need. And you know, we definitely, like, consistency is so key. And you know, when I first started my Twitter, I was like, you know what? Like, I'm going to tweet every single day. I'm going to say good morning every single
I see
day.
you every morning saying what up.
Yeah, I say good morning to everybody in the morning because I love it so much. I used to go, like, when I was in high school, I used to go to school, and like the teachers used to come up to me and say good morning because it was just my thing. I was the only person that would go say good morning to other people. So, you know, I just like wanted to kind of do that in my own way virtually and just kind of connect with everybody. And, you know, even in the chat, like, hello everybody, we're all connecting. And I see I'm like, you know, trying to multitask and read the chat right now, and everybody's just so positive in here, and I see so many hearts and so many 100 emojis. Like, thank you guys. Like, how do you think, you know, even getting through the bear market right now, how do you think, you know, you're getting through that? What advice are you giving to other people? Because I notice crypto Twitter is a little messy right now. Everyone's kind of arguing with each other, and it sucks. I really hate to see it. That's not what I want. I think everyone should get along because if one wins, we all win. But, you know, how could we, you know, improve this sentiment that we have going on right now?
Honestly, I have to be honest. Like, I haven't seen any of that. Like,
really,
I don't.
Twitter
I don't
Spaces
let
has been rough, man.
I just don't let negativity into my life. Like,
Yeah.
I really don't. Like, I used to a little bit. Then it was less and less and less. And I really feel like it's like shedding a skin. And I really believe in frequency. And like, as you become more spiritual, as you achieve kind of goals in your life and you become more content with where you are, and you're less like anxious and you're less like, you know, you become kind of more pleasurable. I'm a way more pleasurable person to be around since my business began, since things started going my way. You know, like I used to struggle. I used to go to sleep crying. I used to be depressed. I just be like, I started 3 businesses and like this, my business partner just double crossed me with my friend who called me back and said, yeah, he tried to cut you out of the deal. Like, and I'm like, what? Like, I brought him in. Like, what he tried to what?
Happened to me.
And it's just like, whoa. People learned everything I taught them and then started the company behind my back saying we were going to do it together. I'm like, but I showed you how to use cameras and how to edit and do everything. And now you guys have an award and I'm not even in the movie. Like, what do you mean? Like, and I was, you know, I had dedicated myself to the group, the team, and I realized I had to go my own way and just go my own way. And so, I mean, I try to stay, I say hi and bye on Twitter. You know, I like some stuff. We laugh, but I try to like, I don't engage. Honestly, I am a charter 100%, right? Yeah. I have 800 people paying me to look through the market. So like it is a stressful life. I'm not like free range to do whatever I want. Like
Yeah,
a good 6 to 8 hours of the day, like I'm doing 3 5-minute Bitcoin updates a day. And they take me 20 to 30 minutes of kind of like looking at Bitcoin and deciding how I want to talk about it, what I want to do.
yeah.
Then I'm searching all coins. I'm looking for profitable setups. I just bought a whole Bitcoin 2 weeks ago, right?
Ooh.
I bought a whole Bitcoin on my channel live
Wow.
at 19,282. And I said, hey,
Holy shit.
and I have indicators that are telling me that there's like an 80 to 90% chance that we've hit the bottom, you know? And if you don't buy around now, you may miss out. Like, so, and again, I can't guarantee it. And I'm still keeping money on the sidelines for 10K. But so because of what I'm involved in and the attention on me for the charts, I really don't have, and it's actually good. It's almost like if you had to build your house in the woods, like you wouldn't be able to go out and talk to random people and you'd have to be there building the house because the winter's coming. Like if you don't have the house built, you're not gonna have a place to stay. And my job is like that. I'm as good as my last day of work. And everyone's, as much as they say they love me and everything, people are judging my charts, people are judging my calls.
Oh, of course. That's what comes with the territory.
I can't lose for a week straight. Like I gotta hit and I gotta find the probability. And that takes a lot of pressure and a lot of my time. And it's almost great for me though, because I'm so focused in my pocket and I get to be right in my little zone and I get rewarded for what I do. And I don't have to deal with anything else, and now I hire people to take on the next tasks that I need done that are a little too ahead of me that I can't get. I have a great team. We had a team meeting today. I just have a great team. I have a video editor. I have someone who conceptualizes how to put stuff out there. I got guys who are learning how to make art. I got a virtual assistant who helps me and is at my beck and call, like whatever I need for 12 hours a day. Like I have a wife that caters to my business and what I need. I have 800 people in my class, in my group, and I have people in there that are like always DMing me. We love you. We support you. Love learning right here. She's definitely, I guarantee she's here or saying hi. It's like my whole team just shows up.
Thank you, Crypto Wifer, for the super chat.
Oh,
she's the best. I'm literally so emotional right now. I can't even contain it.
Babe, you're so sweet.
No, you're amazing, Sam. I can't even. I hear your passion, and I think a lot of people miss that, just the passion part of what they do. And, I think a lot of people fall into, like, I've spoken about this on my show with other people, but I think a lot of people maybe fall into a kind of depressive type state just because they're stuck in something that they don't want to do, a 9 to 5 every single day, but for something they don't want to do. And I think part of this is attributed to the system we live in. You have to go to school until you're 5 until 18. You graduate high school. Then you have to go to college right after high school. So you don't even have time to think about what you want to do. Then right after high school or right after college, you probably have a student loan to pay off now. You have to put food on the table. So you got to go straight to work. Where's the time to think? And you thought outside the box. And you were like, okay, I'm going to go out there and think. You did your 9 to 5s. You did your night shifts. And you wanted to change it. And you did. You stepped outside that box. You stepped outside the matrix. And I think a lot of people are depressed because they don't do that. And they're scared.
Once you step out the matrix too, people think you're like 1,000 feet tall. Like you look like some superhuman being. They're like, how did he get out? Like, how did he break out? Like, and you're like, and that's what was me. I was at work watching the YouTubers because the YouTubers are the ones that broke out, right? That's how and so I'm watching YouTubers and I'm like, man, this guy gets paid super chats and he does his thing. And I'm at work. My boss just told me to go import a bunch of clips and transcode. And I'm sitting here watching my computer like, okay, I'm going to go for lunch and then I'm going to go walk around. Like,
yeah.
I started learning, like, I made it, I made triple figures, I guess, right? Whatever. And I was so depressed and I was in a room for 10 hours a day. And in the TV industry, it's not even a 40-hour week anymore. They're trying to make you sign a 50-hour contract. They want you to come in at 10 and leave at and leave at 8 at night. Like,
yeah, that's wild.
Where do you eat dinner with your wife and kids? Like, so when your family goes out at 7 and goes to school and you leave at 10, they come home at 2, 3, right? Because my wife, teacher, then they're home all day. Then I get in at 8 o'clock and she puts the kid to bed. So I spend no time with my child. So I don't watch my child grow up. I spend 2 days with her a week. No. I walk my daughter to school every morning now. I'll pick up my daughter at 2 a.m. at 2 p.m. every day. If I want to take her to the movies tonight, I take her to the movies.
Exactly.
If I want to spend tomorrow and take her out of school for the whole day, that's going to happen. I get to do whatever I want for the rest of my life. But I worked and sacrificed everything to get there, you know? Like and I'm talking everything, you know? Like you start your channel, if you want a channel to grow, this is like, because this happens. People start a channel and they're like, all right, next week, you know, so they start the channel on Sunday and they're like, all right, the week starts. And they're like, I'm going to conceptualize on Monday, you know, I'm going to put my first video out on Tuesday. Like, then I'm going to think of what next, you know, and then like Thursday night, their friend that always brings them to the club is like, yo, go. And they're like, and they drink that night. And then they wake up Friday, a bum, and then they do a little bit, and 6 months goes by, and that channel is just the same place. It's a half channel. You can see the half channels on YouTube. You can see the people that are like limping in.
Yeah.
And what else I want to tell people is be careful. I see people that go hard for 4 years, and then they just take like a 3 to 4 month kind of like half end, and they destroy like years of like, that's the vicious thing. If you're ready, you're either on YouTube and you stay on until you are ready to leave. You know, and I'm saying, I see other YouTubers, they say they're fine with it. I put up Social Blade and I look at my thing to their thing. And I get, we're not supposed to compete and stuff, but like, don't we all want to grow and progress? Like, don't we all want to continue to grow? Like for me, I'm progressive. Like, I don't want to have the same amount of subs I had last year. Like that's not, and be like, oh, well, at least I got somewhere. Like, no, like I got to move. Like there has to be, we got to see the numbers pushing. I want to hire someone. I want to grow. Like, you know, So I'm not a half person. Like go all the way. So if you're going to start a channel, YouTube channel is the most vicious business in the world because it doesn't let you leave a day alone. Like someone's going to fill that algorithmic space because that algorithm's like, it's like a person in the dark, always looking for the next ad that it can grab. And if you're not around, it's just going to go find whoever's going to be there. And that's why I'm consistent. That's why I stay. Another thing my team is learning, after 15 months, your videos start going into more evergreen content, but it takes 15 months. So now I have 3 years of videos, right? And some of my videos are evergreen, like how to just buy the top and the bottom, how to short and long, right? Just things that you could watch for the next 40 years. So one of those might hit and turn viral. So like you just keep pushing and you just keep pumping content out. And I'm telling you, like things like Ben didn't have Around the Blockchain when I started my channel.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know that was going to be an opportunity for me, but I kept making videos. And next thing you know, I got an email from ATB. Hey, you want to be on blockchain? Oh, really?
I love Around the Blockchain. It's so fun.
Yeah, I love it. It's so fun. That's how we met. Like, and I meet so many cool people doing what I do. I would not have met you. And YouTube is a sifter too. It sifts people who want to be amazing. So when you meet YouTubers, you're likely to meet a pretty awesome person that's pushing forward, you know?
Yeah.
Because a lame-o would never have made it onto YouTube. Like they're still in their room wondering what they're going to do with their life, right?
Exactly. I noticed that, a lot of YouTubers are very ambitious, and you have to be ambitious to, be in content creation because, you can't take a day off. I noticed that I just got to keep uploading every single day. And I'm making tons of different content. I'm booking guests for the Miss Teen Crypto Show. I have the weekly Zest now that I do Monday at noon, where I highlight the past week in crypto. I have my shorts. I have educational stuff. It's just so much going on, and appearances that I make as well. And it's just a lot. And you just gotta keep going with that consistency, and even being your own boss is a lot. And I do want to cover the charts a little bit, but I want to ask you this first. How do you have, the structure? How did you create that structure in order to be your own boss and not kind of get sidetracked, like how you were talking about, that guy, he wants to upload that video, but he chose to go out and drink instead and spent the night out with his friends and yada.
It's that saying, it's like always, you don't know what you got till it's gone.
Yes, yes.
So when someone gets taken from you that you love and you're lucky enough to get it back, you will do so many things in your life to keep it, right? Especially if because once it was lost and you knew it was gone, like that's scary. That hurts. My YouTube channel was deleted. I remember. I don't even like saying it because it like scares
it's like a jinx. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, ugh, it happened to Ben. It happened to Crypto Love. It happened to us all. Happened to Ben after me. It happened to Ben like 6-7 months after me.
Wild.
And I was just like, is no one going to find me, or no one going to see my setups? Is no one going to care about me? Like I go to Twitch. Like, where am I going? Yeah. And I was, all these thoughts instead of just, oh, what a nice stream. Let me go to bed and start my stream tomorrow. Like that's usually how it should go. But that night I was devastated. And I was like, and I grabbed my Labradorite and I went outside and I literally prayed for 2 hours. And I was just like, and that moment has kept me in line because I'm not gonna like, I quit alcohol after that day forever. Like, I don't drink anymore. I went to Vegas. I didn't have, first time in my life, I went out to like places where they would hit. And I was just like, no. I made $1,000 playing craps because I was so sober. I sat there on the crap line, I turned $200 into $1,000 my last night.
Listen, you don't have to drink to have a good time. Like, sheesh.
You don't.
No, not at all.
They're
I don't
forcing
no.
alcohol into the society. It's at every wedding. It's at every game.
Oh,
Bud
yeah.
Light, Coors Light. It's like they are cramming now. And then I said to my wife, I said, now it's the seltzers. So they're making kids think it's it's easy to drink a seltzer, right?
Yes,
so
the seltzer.
Beer. So now they're indoctrinating children even earlier into alcohol now with these seltzers.
Because it's trendy and everything like that. And White
Everyone wants to
Claws.
be cool. And alcohol, like, it destroys so many of your organs. It kills brain cells. Like, it dehydrates you completely. It's poison. Like, if it was a car, it would be sugar. Like, you would be putting sugar in your gas tank. And I tell everyone to be a good trader, to keep my mind right, to properly service 800 people a day, like, and like keep them all happy and keep pumping through my trades. I need to be spot on. Like, I gotta have a good night's, I have to have a good night's sleep. And so what I say to everyone is, so I started the trading group and they made me step my game up, right, to service them. And now I live such a better life for myself. So I'm like, wow, like, you live for others and you'll be forced to live better for yourself. And so I tell everyone, like, you want to become successful? Find a business that helps other people become successful. Social media for a business, that's a great business to start. Like, you research it and you find a local guy that's 48. He really doesn't get social media a lot. One of my good friends, known real estate agent.
Yep.
He doesn't use one. He hasn't never made a video of, and I'm like, dude, you're throwing, like, you've lost 300 grand a year at least. Like, you're telling me you wouldn't have sold at least 2 or 3 more homes if you would just put yourself out there on viral videos?
Yeah, the real estate thing is really big on TikTok.
Like $3 an hour in other countries. Like, you can really push yourself to the next level if you want it. It's out there for you, but people don't know.
Yeah,
they don't know. And so if you just, I always tell everyone, have a dream, go after it. And yeah, like, you asked me, like, why, like, how could I ever? Yes, I'm just too focused at this point. And now it's growing. Like, and now every time I put in more effort, I'm seeing just huge fruits of my labor. So I'm like, why would I ever stop? Once I got on around the blockchain, like, that's not easy. Because when I go on ATB, I spend like a good hour going, I have to have, if they ask a question about ETH, I know they're going to ask me about the ETH chart. If they ask a question about Matic, they're going to be like, hey, could you throw the Matic chart up there, Lifer? And I love it. I'm known as the charter. I love that. It's okay. But it's not as easy as just sitting with the microphone and just
talking.
Hey, yeah, I have to be super prepared. And then I have to be on point. Like, all my lines have to be right. If I say, here's the resistance, here's the support, I need to talk clearly. I need to be good with my words. I need to convey messages through the charts in a proper manner. There's a lot I have to do to create, to do what I do on that show and on my own show. It's a challenge for me every day.
Yeah.
I like a job that makes me recreate myself every day. I love a job that pushes me to the limit. This job that I've created for myself pushes me to the limit. Like,
I can't imagine. You really
I can never I could work 20 hours a day if I wanted to. Like, my wife has to come downstairs a lot of times and she's like, I'm shutting your computer down.
My dad does the same thing to me. He's like,
it's time to come to sleep.
Yeah.
I love you, but like, I know love your channel. I know you're putting in 100%, but it's time you go upstairs, you lay down, watch a mindless hour of TV, or you just read a book, whatever it is. She's like, you need to leave your eyes. She's like, you need to leave the screen.
Yeah. It happens, because you just are so involved, and that happens to me too. Like, all the time. I wake up probably 7:30ish every morning, even though that's not too early. But I still get up. I take a shower, I sit down at my desk, and I don't leave. I don't leave until it's dark out. And I probably don't get in my bed until like maybe past 10 p.m. It depends on the Twitter spaces I might be jumping into that night. I'm just constantly at my desk right here all the time, all day, every day. And you know what? I love it. I don't care. I love it. I don't care if people call me a nerd. I don't care if people say I should go work a 9 to 5 and leave my house. I'm very much happy doing what I'm doing. And you know what? I'm happy about Bitcoin too. And a lot of people are giving Bitcoin smack because Bitcoin, it's at 20K. Like, it should be higher. Guys, we're fine. We're fine. And I saw that Bitcoin did, I think it hit 21 today, if I wasn't mistaken.
You want to jump in? You want to
Yeah,
jump into the chart? Want to take a look?
Do you think we could hold this, Sam?
You know, I'm a macro guy that's going to break down some macro ideas for everybody, right?
Please macro us.
So check it out.
Yeah, we're checking. I'm excited. I love the charts.
I love going back in time, right? So let's go back to September 22nd.
You have mad lines there.
September 22nd of 2022, all right? And you could see clearly this is a rising wedge, okay, on the 4-day chart for the dollar index, all right? Rising wedges break down 68% of the time. So 70% of the time, this is going to dump on your face, all right? So you just, that's a rule, right? That's just like a known pattern. Now, I also use divergences. What divergences are is you want to juxtapose this angle on the RSI with this angle on the price action. And see, if you take this white line and you kind of couple it as the angle, you see it's a pretty, it's a very, almost a vertical line. It's like, it's like a 75-degree angle or something like, and this one's flat, right? And so that tells you that there's a high probability that the dollar is going to tank, okay? And when the dollar dumps, and then what you can do is, what I can teach beginners this stuff, and you can juxtapose it. You can be like, look, Bitcoin had a rally, right? In basically let's say here, Bitcoin had a rally in April 2020. Remember when it hit that high?
Yes.
The dollar started to dump here in April and May of 2020. That was Bitcoin's rally right there. So when the dollar dumps, you get a Bitcoin rally.
It's like here, inverse trading. Yeah,
here's June of 2017. And then, or January, it's like, and then we start to dump. Bitcoin has its rally in 2017, right? There's Bitcoin's real rally right there, December 2017. And the rally ended when Bitcoin found support. You're done. And then we have a bear market while the dollar rises. Bear markets are when the dollar goes up. Bull markets for Bitcoin are when the dollar dumps. So I wait to buy Bitcoin till I see the dollar getting exhausted. Once the dollar gets exhausted, I figure that it's just, I have a very high probability of making good money. So like, for instance, I put 19,600 into Bitcoin at 19,282 2 weeks ago now. And it's up like damn near, I don't know, almost $1,600 today, right? Not huge. But that's a long-term hold I'm adding to, I'm not really like, oh, look at that swing trade, but I beat inflation for the year, right? Because inflation was 8% and I'm up. I actually beat inflation double time, because if I stayed at even, I would have beat inflation. I went up 8% on my money, right? So I've already beat inflation. And then let's press play here and see what happens if you watch kind of what happened to the dollar and it began to collapse, right? Because I trade stochastics RSI, when they're very high on a weekly or a 2-week chart, you're likely to see a massive dump to the downside, right? So the dollar was in this, and then this is also like a parabolic run up, okay?
Yeah.
And then you can backtest this. Look, my trading style is very, like, there's some complexities to it that you need your subconscious mind to grow into.
Yes.
But the overall theories of what I teach are very, very simple. This dotted line goes above, this area goes above the dotted line, right?
Yes.
The dollar dumps. This area is above the dotted line, like the dollar starts to dump. This area is above the dotted line. Like, so like, do you buy, so should you be selling Bitcoin when the dollar index is up here above the dotted line, when it showed you the last 7 years that, every time you got that high, it was the best buy for Bitcoin. So these are your Bitcoin bottoms when the dollar was about to dump. And here we are again. So I juxtapose that.
That's a big dump though, if it does happen.
No, it did though. I'm going to delete everything because I can recreate this later. But we watched this and this was beautiful. So look, let's look here. I think like the replay doesn't work that well on the dollar index for some reason. It's been like acting funky. They did something new to it on TradingView. Yeah. Point of the story is, this was the high I'm telling you right here. We collapsed, right? Once we lost 114.75, we tried to come back and we got rejected here by 113. All right. So then I made this pattern here and I was like, we need to bearishly retest this trend line and dump to the downside. And we did. And the second we hit this, boom, I began to long Bitcoin on that, So, and now I'm watching Bitcoin on the 7. We may actually have another severe dump here. Look, the dollar index is in what's called a bear flag right now on the 7-minute.
That looks ugly.
This morning, I put this out and said, we're going lower, or last night. And we went right to my measured move. See that?
Yeah.
Last night, 2 days ago, I put this out and said, that's a bear flag. We're dropping it. and I took the length of this pole here, and that's where we went. You know,
Wow.
see,
Whoa.
bang. So
That's
now I'm doing the same
crazy.
thing, and I'm telling you, and if you juxtapose the charts, right, by putting them side by side, and we'll go to a Bitcoin chart, okay. And I love this. This is my life. It's like Legos to me. So, and we get rid of some of this stuff, and you look, it's like, I'm going to go to the 7-minute chart, hit auto here.
Does 7 minutes have a significance? I'm just asking.
I started trading it because it's halfway. I like the 15,
Hmm.
and there's like, you don't really want to trade half minutes,
That's
you know?
really crazy. I know minute charts are really difficult.
So I started trading the 7-minute chart, and see, tonight, I mean, we want to see the dollar come up a little bit and just take this dump. And if this dumps down, I mean, we're going to get another pump for Bitcoin up to about 21,400 area, right?
Oh.
So it could get a little juicy tonight. Eventually, we're going to cool off, of course. Like, you don't run up forever, but it's getting zesty. I'll tell you that. Says
Zesty
you.
faux show. I know
You
we
know,
hit 20 today. Do you think we can maintain this? Because I don't know. I'm just so sick of like seeing like
it's
Bitcoin
this right
tap
here. I'm
20 and
telling
then
you.
fall through.
Well, look, we have what's called in crypto and trading in general an SR flip, which is called a support and resistance flip.
Yeah.
You'll have a resistance. You get above it. Now you're using it as support.
Mm.
And I see an inverted head and shoulder here now, which tells me there's a 70% chance, 68, that we are going to break out of this to the upside and that we will go further than this high here. What you're looking for, because we could come up and make the M. We make the M will dump us. Okay.
Yeah.
So we got to basically tonight or by tomorrow, like 2 p.m, Bitcoin's got to close a candle above 20,994 to remain bullish. If it doesn't close a candle in the 4-hour or the daily tomorrow night by 8 p.m. at about 29.94, because it has 24 hours really, right?
Yeah.
So that means it's going to, you know, it's like, but if we see a nice decisive pump and a bounce, I mean, so that's why I trade the 15 and the 7. They give you it's basically they give you the fastest response. It's like someone who talks really quick, right?
Yeah.
You ask them 10 questions, they're going to be like, yeah, right? They're going to answer you quick, right? The 7-minute is a fast talker because it's such a small time frame and the candles are made every 7 minutes. The patterns get made quick, and then the measured moves come out within an hour to 2. So you're going to figure out whether this pattern dumps or pumps in the next 2 hours. And that's why I use the 7-minute. And because think about it. If you're going to walk a mile, you have to walk out of your house and walk 10 feet first, right? So if Bitcoin is going to 40K in 100K, it's going to have to get above 20,994 on the 7-minute, correct? So I tell everyone that freaks out or says, I think and I want, and they project all these crazy projections. I'm like, dude, why don't you just slow down, chart Bitcoin on the 1 hour and the 4 hour. My brain works really well because I've been doing this for a long time. Like I understand why I'm using the 7 and the 15. I don't trade the 7-minute a lot. I want to make that clear. I don't trade small time frames. I use them like a scientist uses a microscope. Check this out. This will blow your mind. And this is why I love teaching my class every Tuesday. And I'm teaching class this Saturday from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. for people that can't make it on the weekdays. So I still teach class 9 a.m. to 12 a.m. on Saturday, the last Saturday of every month. I teach the class too. For my wife is like, she makes me work so much because she's like, but we have to help everybody. You know, so I'm like, all right, like, it's your
At least
thing.
she's supportive and she understands.
No, exactly.
That's so big.
It could be the other way around. So we look at you look at price action, right? And basically, smaller time frames lead to a bigger move.
And sometimes like, you know, so you could mirror like, you know, like something you see in the 7-minute chart, you could also see in like the grander scheme of things in like the 1 hour or the day chart even.
You're very smart. I love that you said that. Like,
Thank you.
This pennant, you might see a pennant like this on the 1 minute and see patterns are babushkas. I teach this in my class. What is the babushka? It's the Russian dolls, right? The little ones, and they go all the way, right? And usually it's like 10 to 12 Russian dolls, right?
Yeah.
I teach that to my students. So like when I look at the 4 hour and I can't, like right now the 4 hours a bought, right? Tweezer tops too, which tells you the 4 hours overbought, the RSI is high, and you have tweezer tops. That's highly likely you're going to
dump. Yeah.
It's very likely, right? I look at the small time frames because in my lifetime, I've just been like, yeah, I'll short that. And the small time frame short squeezes you. and you end up getting rocked. So I can teach people how to basically not get leveraged out of the trade. And I use Bookmap doing that. This is Bookmap, and Bookmap will show me like liquidity areas, right?
Oh,
So look,
wow.
like, all day we had huge liquidity up here. And so what I'll do is, and that's someone who just got liquidated right there for $7,000. That's 3 accounts just got liquidated right now. Like that person these are all short liquidations.
What?
These are all people who shorted the market today and they got absolutely rocked. 16,000, 29,000.
It looks like the
40,000.
chart solar system over here. What am I looking at?
Yeah.
What is this?
Yeah, so this is showing me where the orders are on the order book, right?
Wow.
So this is Binance Futures. It's telling me this guy wants to buy 523 Bitcoins at 21,100. But this dude wants to buy 600 Bitcoins and another 449 at 20,006. The heat map shows me that there's more Bitcoin wanted to be bought than sold. 9 out of 10 times, the market maker and the volume and the liquidity are going to get dragged to the place of where the most orders are waiting for it, because the exchanges make the most money when they make the most transactions, right?
Yes.
So it's not even like people think it's conspiracy theory, and it's more of like how energy moves in life, and like energy just forms more into more energy. So like this price action is going to find out where it can mingle the most. So like we're likely, and that's a huge buy order though. Like if we even get to 20,300, so these huge orders, look, they're buying this guy in this whole area, 358, 468, 692, 200. I mean, we're looking at $2,000-$3,000 of Bitcoin. We get 2,000-3,000 Bitcoins, like 2,000, 3,000 Bitcoins.
Yeah,
right
that's
here.
what I was saying. Like that's a lot of Bitcoin.
Oh yeah, these
that's
are
being
whales.
moved around
These are all
here.
whales, or they're a bunch of people like you and me. Like we don't know who they are per se. You get to see, eventually you start to know who it is, because like you'll see 1,000 Bitcoin,
You can
and then
watch what they're doing.
Yeah, and like they'll move the same chunk of Bitcoin around. They'll move like 1,063, and they'll be up over here and up over there. It could also be 100 people all with 2 Bitcoins, right?
Yep.
You can't, but that's why it shows me the accounts that get liquidated. So this is telling me we're likely to drop a little lower to 20,006, 20,003. But when we get there, we have a pretty fat orders waiting to push us to the upside. So this would make sense right here that the 4-hour would dump. You'll end up making this beautiful flag. I teach my students about the 21-day moving average, and price really can't move till it touches the 21 again. And you'll see this like every time you pump, you come back to the 21. See this nice pump?
Yeah.
Once you're high on, see, my trading style is very awesome. I get into trades when the stochastics are low and I'm touching the 21. Price action will impulse and it will gap away from the 21. Once I'm gapped away from the 21 and the stochastics start to round above the dotted line, I know that trade's likely done. Yeah. And I've done this now hundreds of thousands of times. So like it works out like this. So like you sell and it starts to dump. And then look, it gets low again. It's below, it's near the 21. And I like these flags. Like I would have played this little flag here, see, with a measured move.
Oh.
And then that hits the measured move, right? And then look, I called this out yesterday on the 4-hour time frame. Like I put this trade out to my trading group. I saw that and that's 78%. That's going to break to the upside, that little flag there. And this is the VRVP. It's showing me just like this. It's showing me where the most orders are, where the most people wanted to buy and sell Bitcoin. Right here, I saw so many people at 19,152. I told my whole group, if you watch me on Around the Blockchain on Thursday, we were somewhere around here coming down. And I said, we're likely going to pump and hit the top of the channel. I said, then we're going to squiggle in here. And I was like, and a huge move coming for Bitcoin Sunday night into Monday or Tuesday. I said, I have the words verbatim. My team slipped it and threw it onto Twitter. So like, had you just watched ATB, like I did basically predict pretty much this move here.
That's
and then
so wild.
But again, I said, we're going to short if we bearishly retest this point of control, you got to short. If we get above it, you got a long. And once we broke out of that candle, I mean, we were gone. And it was one of the best calls ever made. I mean, I like to say I get lucky, but another thing I tell people, everyone wants to know where Bitcoin's going to go, right?
Yes.
It doesn't do that. It moves. Sometimes it moves insanely, but for the most part, it has a big move. And then it kind of, right? Like, look, huge move down, huge move up, huge move down, then sideways for like a week, right? Huge move up, huge move down, sideways for another week. Huge move up, down, up and down, sideways, sideways, sideways. So like once it pops, it literally finds its way again for a while. And so if you track it every 5 hours, then you're going to find the bottom. See, like doesn't that make sense to you?
That's
like
so
I was like,
crazy.
if I look at it every day and I know like right now, I know like when I go to bed tonight and I wake up tomorrow morning And the 4 hour does, there's a very high probability this is going to happen because, and then let's back test why I believe that. I can show my trading style live in front of everyone. That's what I love about it.
Yes.
So let's say I'd like to be like right now, where are we? Well, we're at an impulse in price. We're at a resistance point because that was a previous bounce right there, right? Previous support becomes new resistance. So we bounced. So that's going to be resistance. So we're at a resistance for sure, guaranteed. And we have high stochastics. So let's go back and see that same type of behavior, right? And what happened? So we look.
Yeah.
Resistance, 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 resistance. Okay. Impulse at resistance, high stochastics. RSI was high. MACD was high. Dump back to the bottom of the pattern, correct?
Yes.
Same thing here. So that's 1 for 1. Here we are again, above the pattern, MACD high, RSI high, right below resistance.
Oh my
Dump
gosh.
down, right? Here we are again, stochastics high, RSI high, MACD done. Resistance, we had to slope down to the bottom of the pattern again. 3 for 3. So what do you think we should do now? We're high above the thing, the MACD's high. We actually have buy volume falling, which is important too, because as we move to the upside, the volume is dropping. We're losing buyers. You don't want to see the price moving up while the volume's moving down. That means the car's moving this way, but it's losing gasoline. How can the car keep going that way if it's losing gasoline?
It can't.
Right?
It can't.
It can't. So by juxtaposing volume and price action, you get another piece of information to the puzzle that really changes the game. And then, so if I wake up tomorrow, so like I'll put out an update to my trading group and it's going to look very similar to this. I mean, I'm based, and if we wake up tomorrow morning and we're somewhere in here, I mean, the charts told us that was highly likely. Now, anything is possible. That's the thing.
Yes, of course.
Just short squeeze and we just boom. I mean, anything is possible. We can double. And that's why I keep myself on the smaller time frames, because whenever I got duped in the past, it was because Bitcoin made little moves in the smaller time frame that were hidden from the oscillations of the 4 hour. So once you see the 4 hour and we have to understand we are at a slowdown point, right?
Yes.
But because I've seen anomalies, so there's a 70% chance where a short will make you money, hands down. Okay, 70% chance, right? And then what I do is if the dollar is going to dump, right, then Bitcoin will pump. So we have to keep looking at the DXY. Right?
Oh yes, the inverse trading
like
we were
tonight, I want to
talking
short
about.
Bitcoin, right? And I see this. If I see this pop out, and look, it might make this shoulder. This is what I'm looking for. I'm always looking for the reversal pattern or the continuation. Okay. So look, this could make a shoulder, a head, and a shoulder here. That's going to be a reversal pattern. If I see that, then I'm going to short Bitcoin because that dollar is going to come back up with a little bit of a vengeance.
But if it goes down, then you're gonna.
If I see this poke out tonight and begin to drop, right?
Then you're buying.
It had a chance to drop here and it didn't. It actually should have dropped a little more here. See, I know how the Stokes work. When the Stokes come back down, I should get a movement. When the Stokes head back down again and I don't get that movement, it tells me there's a little pressure to the upside. It tells me that. And I also look for divergences and I see a bullish divergence here. I see a swing up with a swing down here. It tells me that likely is our temporary bottom. And then we go to the 4 hour on this. The 4 hour on this should want to pump, just like the 4 hour on Bitcoin would want to dump. And then we back test this the same way I just showed you Bitcoin, right? What if we were to long Bitcoin? What if we were going to, every time we were low, we were going to long Bitcoin? Not a good idea because look, the dollar index pumped hard on the 4 hour up here once. Here we were down a little bit, pumped a little bit, not enough, but it still pumped. Here it pumped pretty nicely.
Yes.
1, 2, 3. These were all trouble for Bitcoin every time the dollar did that. So we come down here, we're low again. We got low and we pumped again. Even on this place, we got low, we pumped huge. So you'd say, do you want to long Bitcoin when the dollar index is this low on the 4 hour time frame? Highly unlikely. Like it's battling your, so I'm starting to lean short. You get it? Not because I want to. I don't want to lean short. I don't care. I don't have an opinion. See, I'm really good at just looking at the probabilities and then I backtest them in front of myself like I did for you. And I say, well, what would you do? And it's pretty clear, right? I mean, and again, it doesn't mean you're going to be right every time, but you should be right like 70% of the time, right?
Yes.
So that's why when I show up on my channel on a random day of the calendar and I draw a wedge and I say, we're going up and then we go up, I knew there was I knew 7 out of 10 of the days I'm going to be right. Now to a beginner, they don't understand the probability. So I look like a genius. And I try to tell them, it's not me. You could learn what I learned.
Exactly.
I'm a meteorologist. I'm just showing you the weather.
And
you know?
what indicators, like, do you have any indicators that you've been using, anything that you've been really paying attention to, whether that's like volume or things like that? Or you're just
Yeah,
straight up just kind of like,
I'll tell
doing
you
what you're
what,
doing here?
I first learned divergence from a mentor about 5 years ago.
Uh-huh.
And I was really bad at understanding it. I didn't get it. I could only identify hidden for 2 years straight. I didn't understand what bullish or bearish were. It's almost like a hidden language that, like, unless you start doing it every day, you're not going to get it. Even
Yeah.
guys that are on YouTube every day and say the word divergence all the time, it's almost like a mechanic. Like, we all look at cars and we know a car and we see carburetor and we say this and that, but can you go take apart a carburetor? I kind of can now because I had a motorcycle, but like, not really. I'm not like, I'd have to do it. It's like these guys know way more than we do, even though we know what a car is and we've looked at an engine. Randy's actually, no, I'm actually a mechanic, but I could see you just taking apart an engine, like getting it in.
Yeah.
But the point of the story is people that are into things to the point of no return know way more than you, right? Not
Yeah.
you, but anyone that's dabbling in that theory. I do this 10 hours a day. I find divergences today I found like 30 or 40 different divergences across the market, right? For instance, I teach everyone, when you take my beginner's course, one of the first things I teach people in my beginner's course is this amazing concept of a rising wedge. Rising wedges break down 68% of the time. Everyone that said we were going 100K didn't know how to draw a rising wedge. That said that Bitcoin was going to drop. So if you had gone on a YouTube channel and not known any indicator, had taken off every indicator in the world, just drawn these two lines and said, I'm short in Bitcoin, there was a 70% chance you were going to look like a genius, right?
And no one would say that, though. It's funny because at that time, all the traders were saying, we're going to 100K, no doubt, laser eyes, let's go. But no one gave the varying opinion. It's kind of like, now majority of people are saying we could go to 10K, but is that really like, what's going to happen? Or is that just the popular
same
opinion?
People that are telling us we're going to 100K are the same people telling us we're going to 10K. Haven't you noticed that? They're the same people.
Sometimes.
They're the same people.
Yeah.
So look, swing down to swing down, swing up to swing up. That's strong bearish divergence. When the price action is up in a trajectory, but the RSI is down in a trajectory, you have a problem. Look at this shoulder, head, and shoulder. That's the best head and shoulder I've ever seen. That's like how you teach someone how to draw one. Like,
it's picture perfect.
Yeah, it's like the best one I've ever seen. So you had confluence. You had a bearish retest of the previous high. You bearishly retested right there. I mean, this was like anyone that knew their TA, like this was a perfect short. And so what I do now is I don't care what the asset. I'm more into the setup than the asset.
Yeah.
I can see the setup anywhere now. And I'm like, oh, I see a rising wedge. That's an inverted head and shoulder. And they're coming back for the bearish retest. Short that. Right? I longed Bitcoin here. Literally, I didn't get the 28. I bought 32,400. Right around there, I found a divergence and I bought 32,400. We would slump down to about 29, like 28.8, or like, I was down like $3,000, let's just say. I bought a half of Bitcoin, so 14,000. So I was only down like 1,400.
Uh-huh.
But why I longed Bitcoin live in front of everybody was two main reasons. I'm a Fibonacci trader and I'm a divergence trader. And I pulled my fib from this impulse to this impulse. And this was creepy that we went into the 0.65 and the 0.618 where institutions accumulate. I was taught this by an institutional trader, and the 706 is a hidden fib that only institutions use. Only I teach it on all of YouTube. So anyway, I've been taught too by institutional traders what a lot of, I've been doing this for 15 years. I traded the Toronto Stock Exchange. I traded JNUG and JDST. I'm not some 26-year-old kid who's been trading crypto for 5 years. No, not to put down these young YouTubers, but like, I'm a grown man who's been doing this for a long time. When I say something, it should hold some weight because I've been doing this and I've seen markets and I put in my whole life into it. So like, I called this long here. I called this top here for Bitcoin. You can ask anybody that watches my channel. Why did I call the top for Bitcoin? Because we had swing up to swing up. And on the weekly chart, we had what's called bearish div. I mean, when the RSI goes down, and I see how I'm showing you divergences and how they play out over and over again. So then I looked at Bitcoin because you asked me, what indicators do you use? Because everyone thinks I'm going to say like market cipher, or you could click this in. I'm the indicator. You can't replace me. My brain has seen too much of the market. Like, you can't beat me. Like,
That's
like
why I
I am
wanted to ask you, because
I'm a
there's
bot. Like
always so many things that, I have different traders come on the channel because I love learning about charts, and I love how each trader, you guys always have your own strategy. And I the way you're presenting it to me now is like sometimes a lot of other traders have, said like this indicator is good, that indicator is good, and you're just like free balling out here.
I just know what it
You just
is.
know
Like,
what's
so
going
look,
on.
this
That's
is a
like
free
great.
indicator, the RSI. Like anyone can grab this. Like
My
you don't
dad
have to
had
pay.
my dad told me about it. Like my dad is like light into the charts, but he talks about the RSI a lot, and
Yeah,
how he
relative
really
strength index.
yeah, he was telling me about this all the time in relation to charts and everything like that.
Swing down, swing up, right there. That's bullish divergence. You haven't that hasn't occurred on the weekly chart like ever. Like it happened one here. There's a hidden one right here because that's a swing up and that's a sideways swing. And I look everywhere through the chart, and I found it once right around here in 2015. So like Bitcoin, finding weekly divergence on a Bitcoin chart is like finding a dinosaur bone on Fifth Avenue. Like it's just not going to happen. Like it's so rare. Like, and now I'm trying to tell people like, listen, I know these charts. I think there's people that know me and they don't trust. They're like 10K, man, 12K, man. And I'm like,
The
I just
bottom
showed
could be in. Like I wouldn't doubt that. And I
I'm
did actually
telling
hear
you,
someone talking about the chart this week closing different than it has in like a
I've been
long
saying the
time.
bottom's been in for like, and again, but because I'm a true OG trader and I read Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas, and I took from 60-year-old traders, and he said, Sen, you can never say you know where price is going. That's the biggest no-no as a trader. So I can't tell you the bottom's in. What I can do is I buy Bitcoin in front of you.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
I buy a whole bit. I don't know where the bottom is, but I know the indicators that tell me the highest probability. Another cool thing you can use is the crypto fear and greed index. I used to think it was whenever we get down here, it's heavy fear. When we dump to 17.5 down here on this wick,
That was
this thing
heavy
went
fear.
all the way to like 6, 7, 8. And honestly, I'd only seen it at a 9 my whole life. I'd never seen it hit 8 or 7 or even. So I had to buy Bitcoin in that place, right?
Yep.
And then I remember you also learn from your mistakes. Like I learn from my mistakes all the time. Bitcoin was down here. That fear and greed index was like sitting at like 18, 15, right? We ripped all the way back up to here. And the fear and greed index went back to like 43 and it was sitting in the middle. I got depressed. Not depressed, but like, damn. I said,
Yeah.
You missed your opportunity, Sam. Like you should have bought a whole one down there. So when we came back there again, I said, bro,
I'm
not
just
playing
doing
the
it.
game again. Yeah, like I'm not gonna because now and look, it's back up again from 23. I bought somewhere in the teens 2 weeks ago. When this gets back into these zones, you've missed your opportunity. It's over. It's over. People don't realize, man.
Because people are saying that
The masses don't know where Bitcoin's going.
because everyone's saying
Hands down,
that
they're not good at that. Like, and they all think so. It's like the person that's going to tell you where Bitcoin's going is going to be some weirdo who looks at the charts every day. He might be blonde, he might be blue-eyed. You don't know. He sits in his house all day long and he charts for 10 hours a day, and all he does is look at things. And he's been trading for 15 to 20 years. Like, I don't know any person like that. But that's probably the person that's going to find the bottom. The person that does the charts all day long, that dedicates their life to charts. Just like, you know what I mean? Not the guy that does some charts and does social media stuff, or the guy that does this. Those aren't the people you're going to want to go to find the bottom. You're going to want to find a chart analyst. That person is going to have that, and someone that does it every single day. That person, I believe, is going to be the one you'd want to at least listen to. Like, don't listen to anyone, but at least take some information in and see how that lets you feel. You know.
Yeah, I know a lot of people have been saying that, when people completely give up on Bitcoin, that's the bottom, doopity-dop. But like, I don't think so. I think people like the way the sentiment is right now and the way it was when we were at 17 and the fear and greed index was an absolute terrifying fear. I pictured the bottom being in, but again, I'm not a trader. I'm not giving anyone here financial advice. I just can't picture us going to 10K. And I feel like when majority of people say we're doing something, it typically goes the opposite way. So either way, I'm like a macro person. Like 4 to 5 years down the line is what I'm concerned about, not, the right now, unless I'm looking at the charts.
Also, it's life lessons. I love your point. I love what you just said.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
It's about life. I love you. You're the best. It's about life lessons. It's about life lessons, okay? And fortune favors the brave in every situation. You know what I mean? You go and do something everyone's afraid of. YouTube, you know how many people are afraid to go on YouTube? Millions.
Yep.
Millions of people. They look at us like, wow, like they put their face out there every day. I could never do that, right? So like we've already pushed through a risk factor that a lot of the world is already like, so we are getting rewards from it, right? You got $20 super chat. You know what I mean? So like
Yay.
you get rewards for pushing yourself, you know, sometimes there's some risk involved, right? So I say fortune favors the brave. It was how many people bought a Bitcoin 2 weeks ago, like I did live on their Bitcoin channel. I hadn't seen it. I think I might be the only one. Maybe there's another guy. There's got to be someone out there, but you know, so, and I'm not saying forget me. It's like, oh, look at me. I bought the Bitcoin. But the whole point is the brave people got in, and that was brave because the whole world said you're going to 10K. So to buy here takes a lot of, you have to believe in yourself. Yep. You have to be someone that has so much conviction in who you are as a person. You're not really influenced by anybody else. Like you have to have your own conviction, your own solid sense of being. You got to be like a rock. And like, it took me years to develop that and to like really, you know, to law on this point when everyone said Grayscale was unlocking and we're going to dump. I said, but that's the golden pocket. And this also had bullish divergence on the daily. So like, and again, as I showed you, to see it on the weekly is very rare. Another thing you want to see, look at the 2-week chart. I went over this. This is the whole time. This is Bitcoin's all-time history index. Your best times to buy when the Stokes were low. 1, 2, 3, like 4 or 5. You've had 5 times in Bitcoin's life. And it's right there again. Like if you don't buy down there,
I was just gonna say, wow, we're
you're
like
just
right
out
here.
of your mind. Like you're basically out of your mind. Like
wow.
Like, so people who are telling me we're going to 10K, like I'm almost like, do you do this for a living or do you just like dabble in this? Like
wow, that's super interesting.
Because I'm like, you're not making sense to me, you know? And then again, I go to the monthly chart and look at this. Go back to the monthly. I'm gonna blow your mind again and again. I'm gonna blow your mind with divergences. I am a divergence fiend. So look, we go to the RSI here, and you see price action swings to the upside. Okay.
Yeah.
But the RSI here, if you take this low, that low is a downtrend, and when you match that level, if you even go up here even higher,
it's like almost exact.
If you match that level to that level, and we pump, right? So you're like, that's called hidden bullish. It means at your bottom because you got too low in the Stokes, but you didn't go lower than the price wanted you. So like that has to be a reversal point. And that's basically the philosophical explanation of hidden bullish. So I looked at the monthly recently and I took this swing low to this swing low and I did the same thing. And I said, holy shit, like that, excuse my language. I said, that looks just like the last time. And that was, you know, 4 years ago, 3 years ago.
This is alpha. This is alpha. This is crazy.
And I could have quietly bought my Bitcoin and not wanted to become a public laughingstock when we went to 10K, right?
Yeah.
But I believe in these indicators so much that I think they're going to make me look like the guy who called the bottom. And I think 6 months from now, people are going to be interviewing me all around the world like, how'd you know? How'd you know? And I'm going to be showing all this stuff. And I'm going to say, dude, why don't you join my trading group and get educated so you can do it yourself? So you don't have to ask everybody else. So you don't have to wait for someone to tell you. So you can figure it out yourself. If you're not done yet, if you don't think this is crazy yet, like watch, we can, and I think I showed some of these last time, but I don't mind revisiting some ideas that make your hands stand up. Type in this indicator, type in Gaussian channel. All right. Type in Gaussian, DW. Okay. Slap one indicator. Go to the 8-day chart. A lot of people don't even know how to use the 8-day chart. I use so many different charts people don't even know exist, right?
Yeah, I never heard of an 8-day chart.
So here, hold on 1 second. This will blow your mind. Like this will give you goosebumps.
I'm ready. I'm so ready. Shout out to everybody in the chat. You guys are absolutely
While I'm setting
awesome.
this up, give us a little story about how you and your dad bond over trade charts. This is really interesting. I want to hear this.
So, you know, we don't
what
talk
has he
about,
taught you? What does he talk about? Like, how do you guys get into the charts? You know?
So he hasn't really like looked into the charts that much lately, but he was telling me, you know, like when I first got into crypto, that he was like watching the RSI and he was telling me like the relationship between like Bitcoin going up and like the RSI. Cause sometimes like when the RSI like peaks above that like little dotted line that you were showing me, then Bitcoin would go up. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like this is a thing. And I was just kind of like mind blown by that. And then then like I sat on it for a little while. I got into crypto, and I was just trying to understand the concept of crypto for a while. And I got educated, joined Twitter, started educating on that front, and then I started doing my show. And then I was just like, you know what? Now I can have people that are really into the charts and know what the frick they're doing, and more deeply than my dad did, because he really knows the basics. And I was just like, I want this explained. So now I have like you on the show telling me all this stuff, and it's just like, wow, it's just so interesting how if you really focus and put your mind to it, you could not predict the market, but I have a good idea of what's going on and what the future could hold. As
It's
always,
not
it's
as
always
chaotic as people think.
Yes.
It's chaotic to the person. Look at this. I'm going to blow your mind.
Yes, please go. Ploo.
There's a busy intersection. I speak in metaphors because it's the best way to explain myself. And I also rap for years, so my brain thinks in metaphors, right? So look, there's a busy intersection, right? Cars go this way, swing around that way, and like tons of people use the intersection that day. Some people, there's a hot dog stand here, there's this and that, right? Now, if you just stand here for 10 minutes, are you going to know anything about this intersection and all the no. But what if you put 2 hours a day from 10 to 12, like I do on my YouTube channel, right? And what if you did that for 4 years straight? You'd know a lot about this intersection. You'd know, that this doctor comes to go to his job and then takes this right around 10 to 10:15. You'd know that the hot dog guy gets 50 hot dogs sold by 12 o'clock. You'd know, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yes.
And you would understand, simplify your life. That's the charts. That's the charts. The charts are always moving. If you don't decide to stand still and watch them, you're not going to have any clue what's going on. All I do is show up every day and do the same stuff. And so I can see what most people can't. It's not that hard to understand. Most people aren't focused, so they're lost. I decided to find my focus. I am found. It's that simple. Like, it's just that simple. Like, check this out. The red turns to green here. Now we have a lower bottom there, but that's the last place to buy at $5 before Bitcoin just absolutely skyrockets to the upside, right?
Yeah.
So you're like, okay, first time. Here again, all right, we're back in 2014. Bitcoin, the Gaussian channel turns green to red. That's our bottom right there.
Right there.
Clear
Yep.
as that. Clear as that, right?
So right
Okay.
when it begins the channel is when the bottom is in, or?
Yeah, right when the green turns to red.
Okay.
We bottomed out. Here we go again.
Oh.
2018.
So that
Green turns
the
to
previous
red.
one was 2014, right? And then this was 2018?
We did three. We did one all the way in 2012.
And then
We did one in 2015.
2015.
It's got every bottom. It's called every bottom.
Okay.
It's called every
Wow.
bottom.
Holy wow. Okay.
So now where do we go? Oh my God. The green has turned to red at the exact bottom.
And what was that? What price does it say there is the exact bottom?
That was that wick, that seven. I mean, a little after.
17.
But it'll turn right after the bottom, like, or around the bottom. You're going to, yeah. I mean, so I believe that wick to 17.5 was our capitulation wick.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So that like, whoa.
All right, ready for this? I'm not done. I did this on my channel today, and I love doing it. I'm going to go to the daily now, and I'm going to slap the 800-day moving average on. Okay.
Okay.
And I'm going to zoom into the daily chart. I only need the whole chart yet. And we're going to watch this. And now this doesn't go far as back because the 800-day won't give me more information. So it kind of ends right around there. So I only get like two of these, but where's our bottom? When the 800-day passes through the 50-day moving average, bottom. Okay. By the time we pass through the 200, we are well past, we're still low as hell, and we're in a bear market. It sucks. I'm not telling you. That's what the other thing. People they misinterpret the bottom between the end of the bear market. Those aren't the same. You can call a bottom and still be in a bear market for 6 to 12 months. Doesn't mean we're out of the bear market.
Trade.
I'm just telling you that is the lowest price we will see, right? So goes past. By the time we hit the 200, it's over. All right. Now I tell everyone I keep 50K to 60K to buy 6 to 5 Bitcoins at 10K. So I'm not a fool. Like, there could be a black swan event, right? The world could do something we've never seen before. I am an open-minded person, but I will not miss this opportunity as well. You see? Here we go again. The 800-day passes through the 50. This is in 2018. It's that exact bottom the Gaussian channel had for us, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, 2 for 2. So where are we now? Drum roll.
I like it.
And here we go. The 800 day passed through the 50. A couple days later, we bottomed on the wick. Same exact thing going on here. Pretty weird.
Wow.
And I just showed you all the divergences. So it's like, and then if you want to go even further, like if that's not enough for you, like if you're just like, no, like I need more. I'm like, okay, you need more? Like I can give you more. Like you want more? Okay. We'll go and we'll type in pi cycle, which called the top every time. So it vice versa calls the bottom pretty well. And I pi cycle by Tondi, pi cycle bottom. Even just knowing how to find these indicators is a skill in and of itself. Like,
yeah, it's really
most people don't even know
what,
anything. It's like
yeah,
I can pull
really
it all off
know.
the top of my head. Like it's like, oh yeah, I got this. So look, we flip this to logarithmic view. We delete the other moving averages. We don't need them for now. And we look at this just in entirety. Okay. And whenever this red line crossed the green line, we bottom on the pi cycle. Green line, we bottom in the pi cycle. These all coincide with those exact areas that I showed you.
Oh my gosh.
Before, right? It only does this one, and then right
again here.
The pi cycle has called the bottom yet again.
Oh my god.
And this indicator called the top like really good on there. And I made a video about it calling the top before it happened.
Stop it.
And then I didn't listen to it.
Oh my gosh.
Get it? So I found this indicator, told everyone where the top was going to be, made the video, right? Said we're all going to sell when this indicator tells us the top's in, right?
Yeah.
And I actually have the video here because someone is nice enough to send it to me the other day, and it's in a DM. Pi cycle top shows Bitcoin will go over 300K by fall. And I said it would go higher, but in the bigger zone. But I said whenever these two lines cross, only to crash all the way back down again to a low. So I basically said in this video here, and this is way before the top, like Bitcoin was, I wonder where Bitcoin was, but this is April 8th, right?
Yeah, that was a while ago.
Of 2021, okay? And I'm telling you, and Bitcoin's right here, it's at like, and I'm telling you, when these two lines cross, it's going to call the top. And I'm telling you, it called the top there. I said, so we got to sell when these two lines cross, right? So I'm here on April 8th telling you to sell the top when these two lines cross and this indicator pops out. I'm telling you this,
my God.
On April 8th, the day before my birthday, number one. So let's go back in time, right? We'll take off the pi cycle here, the bottom one, and we'll put in the pi cycle top. I've never done this on any channel, not even my channel. So like, this is juicy, zesty stuff. I mean, this is awesome. Like, yeah, I'm freaking out right now. Like, this is awesome. So look, pi cycle top indicator, and you put that on, and here I am telling you to sell, right? I want to show the moving averages. Here I am telling you on April 8th, right? Somewhere right about here, that when these two lines cross, Bitcoin's going to top. I was telling you about Bitcoin would top on the 16th or the 15th. And right when those lines crossed, this video told you exactly when to sell the top for Bitcoin. Now, I thought we could go higher at all because I thought these could kind of go sideways. I didn't know. But I said, when it does pop, and it happened. And then I said, and then the guy who made the indicator said, yeah, but and I didn't. And I started listening to the freaking YouTubers and everybody else.
Yeah, but you can't. You have to listen to them, but also take it with a grain of salt.
So now I listen to these. I don't listen to nobody else. I listen to pi cycle indicators. I listen to the indicators that told me when to sell beforehand. Now, granted, I didn't sell that. We came back and then I made some really good buys here that would pump us up. So like, it didn't hurt me too bad had it been the whole fall down, right? And again, I would have missed out on this whole rally too. So, and maybe I would have beat myself up, but it did basically call, and I believe this was a false rally created by printed money. Never should have done the top for Bitcoin. We should have went like this, and this never should have occurred. I believe the bear market started right here. We're actually about to come out of the bear market. That's another reason. Bear markets usually only last. Here's another thing. Let's get everyone prepared. You got me channeling right now. I hope this is okay because I am just like ramping up.
It's okay. It's okay.
I want you to answer some questions while I do this to keep you involved. So like, how did your mother meet your father? Could you tell us that story?
Yeah, I don't.
Interesting.
No, I don't know any of that.
Okay. How?
I mean,
Are your parents born in America? Like, are
Yes, yes.
okay, yeah.
My dad's a single dad, so it's just me, my dad, and my sister.
May God bless you.
Yeah.
May God bless you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you, thank you. We're all chilling here. We're a crypto family. I actually probably have to head out in a little bit. I have to go to a relative's house for dinner. But yeah, we're all good. We're all hanging out, and the bear market is poop. We don't like the bear market, but we like the build market, which is what I like to call the bear market. This is not a bear market. This is a build market, and this is when we
I
build.
love it.
And
I love
we
it.
make these connections. We still hang out. We grind, and until things get people want to come into crypto again because the hype is back.
So look, having pump, having pump, having pump. There's your next having. We're not that far away. Like this is gonna happen faster than people realize, and you know what I mean. So I tell everyone you have 18 months to get your ducks in a row and understand what's going on and get situated. Understand what coins you want, what projects they are, what you want to DCA into, and that's why I really believe a trading group as much as it is my product and I push it. But I really believe it can accelerate your learning and get you up to speed in this period so you can be ready for that halving. It took me 4 years to figure all this out. I started buying Bitcoin here. I've been in this game for this long. This is way less than the amount of time it took me to learn it. So I tell everyone, like, it's time to go. Like, it's time to put the Netflix down. It's time to stop drinking. It's time to focus. It's time to get rich. It's time to change your life. It's time to get paid.
Let's freaking get it. Let's freaking get it. Lifer, I do have to head out, and I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I have to.
No, this was great. This was great. We can't talk all night,
I know, and I really would. Like, honestly, I would, because Lifer, you're amazing, and I always have such a great time when I'm talking with you. What do you think overall about, the crypto market in general? Are you overall bullish, or are you happy about where we're at in terms of adoption? And I know, like, the gov is coming in pretty hot and trying to regulate, and CBDCs are being talked about quite a lot now. And are you still bullish on this space? Do you still think we're going to make it?
Wag me, baby.
Wag me.
Wag me.
Wag me all the way.
Wag me all day, baby. I think things that I'm situated in, I always feel like I'm in the right place at the right time. Even when I felt like I wasn't, when I was in dark places, that was the right place for me, because now I get to look back on that pain and I have the compassion for others. So God bless the pain I went through. So I always believe I'm at the right place at the right time. I believe God has plans, and I believe crypto has something to do with God's plans. I don't know why, but like, the evil bankers, the grimy parasitic, I think, I hope, I pray, maybe it's another form of control. I'm always open-minded, but right now, how I stand, super excited, super happy. Ben going hard with that bill for us. I really like that too. Like,
that's insane what's going on there.
Yeah. Thank God we have people and look, all was revealed. We all figured out what was happening because they tried to steal one of his lobbyists. And when they stole his lobbyists came back to him. Thank God he was loyal and said, listen, like, well, it was a lobby. No, so they tried to take someone from his team. And the guy said, listen, they tried to poach me. And that's when he found out what they were doing. And that was an act of God. Because that man had a moral code and was a loyal person.
Thank
he didn't
God.
just go take the money for whatever he was, he went back. And now we all know. And so I believe God works in mysterious ways. And I believe that he uses the devil unknowingly to produce good. And so the devil thinks he's doing horrible things. But it's like, for instance, the devil could turn someone into a horrible drug addict, right? Yeah. That person go to rehab, clean themselves up, and then save hundreds of people. So did the devil actually work for God? He did, didn't he? So I just I have faith in God. I have faith in the good things that come. And I believe crypto is associated with that. And I believe we have nothing to fear. Fake emotions acting real, baby. Let's keep it moving.
Yes. Let's freaking get it, guys. We got this. We're all going to make it. This was absolutely an amazing show. Lifer, I'm going to have you back soon. I can't even believe what you taught me today. It's always so great talking to you. And I know we got a little bit emotional before, but it's all for the good. And
it's real. We're real.
Yeah.
Can we apologize for being real? I don't think so. I don't think we have to do that. So,
not at all. Not at all. And, I appreciate everyone in the chat. I'm just looking through the chat right now. Everyone is so nice. Everyone's dropping 100 emojis. Everyone's happy. And, I'm happy that everyone came. So thank you to everyone in the chat. I know I was trying to talk to you guys and multitask a little bit, but I'm very bad at multitasking. And I really wanted to learn about Lifer's charts. But thank you to everybody in the chat. Please, if you're watching this, smash the likes.
Dude, dude, and we boomed
subscribe.
up. We have 120 now. I mean, like we've been booming up.
I
Like
know we really took
unreal.
off, and yeah. Someone said love you in the chat. Much love to you guys. So much love. You guys are amazing. I appreciate every single freaking one of you. You're all zesty. You're all amazing. And I'm gonna put some of my cool emojis in the chat because I have new emojis for my members. Thank you, everyone. You're so amazing. Oh, Lifer, you're amazing. You guys are so awesome. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, guys. I will be live tomorrow at 6 p.m. with some awesome ladies from the NFT space, so don't miss out on that.
That sounds fun.
Yes, I've been, having a lot of women on. I really want to just have everybody on and be as inclusive as possible because I know everybody wants to share their voice, and I want to hear everybody and what everyone has done to get to where they are now. So thank you to everyone again that tuned in today. Thank you, Sam, for hanging out with me. Always much appreciated. Have a great day, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow. And as always, stay zesty. Peace.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.